Only 7 days remain before JUNGKOOK and JIMIN officially complete their mandatory military service, and a surprising piece of information has begun to surface from behind the scenes of South Korea's entertainment industry. These two BTS members, known as the most charismatic, are reportedly preparing a colossal surprise aimed specifically at ARMY around the globe. The question now stirs the public's mind. What kind of surprise is being kept so tightly under wraps, even from internal circles of their agency? An industry source, who declined to be named, mentioned that this secret project has been in the works since before the two entered military training. With meticulous planning and direct involvement from HYBE labels, this surprise is predicted to be one of the most historic moments in BTS's post-military journey. It's not just a comeback, but something that could change the course of South Korea's music industry and prove that BTS remains a central pillar in the global Hallyu wave. Reports circulating among industry observers reinforce the speculation that Jimin and Jungkook have prepared a cross-border project involving musical, social, and visual elements never before attempted by any group. Rumors even suggest the potential for collaboration with world-class artists whose identities remain confidential. Could this be an international duet, a global documentary film, or perhaps a special album launch with a humanitarian mission? While HYBE has yet to release an official statement, small hints are beginning to appear through the actions of producers and creative directors known to be closely linked with BTS projects. One senior producer from Big Hit Music was noted to have traveled abroad at the same time as global discussions regarding cross-cultural music collaborations. Speculation is unavoidable. Could this be directly connected to the surprise being prepared by Jungkook and Jimin? Interestingly, other circulating information from the international fan community reveals that several HYBE recording facilities, previously unused for the past few months, have suddenly become active and heavily guarded. Some fans living near the complex have even reported increased nighttime activity and faint sounds of music recordings. Surely, this is no mere coincidence. This moment is also generating emotional tension among ARMY. Not only because they deeply miss the appearance of these two idols, but also due to high hopes that the mentioned surprise will be more than just an album or music video. Many fans hope the project will also carry a powerful message of hope, peace, and unity, values that have long defined BTS's identity. Amidst the rising euphoria, several entertainment communication experts are warning the public not to fall into excessive expectations without official confirmation. However, they also admit that the steps taken by HYBE and BTS's historical tendency to surprise their fans send a strong signal that this is not just a sensational rumor. Jimin and Jungkook themselves are known to be deeply sensitive to their fans' feelings. In various interviews before entering military service, both repeatedly expressed their strong desire to still give something meaningful to ARMY, even if they had to be absent from the entertainment world for a while. Thus, industry logic points to the conclusion that this surprise could very well be a real form of that promise. If the rumors are true, then we are potentially facing a monumental release, a musical work, possibly a duet album, with cinematic visuals, a humanitarian message, and interactive digital elements that will allow fans worldwide to directly engage in this project. It would not be an exaggeration to call it a new era of post-military BTS, initiated by Jungkook and Jimin. From a corporate strategy perspective, this also reflects HYBE's intelligence in maintaining momentum and brand value for BTS. While many K-pop groups lose the spotlight post-military service, BTS is showing that this hiatus can be a strategic space to create even greater impact, especially with the involvement of two of the most popular and musically productive members, Jungkook and Jimin. But it's not just about music. There is strong potential that this surprise will also involve a global social campaign, collaborating with international organizations like UNICEF or UN Women, two longtime BTS partners often included in their global movements. If true, then this project will not only be a comeback, but also a declaration of a new social mission from BTS's two pillars. I end this tense waiting atmosphere. ARMY is urged to stay updated through HYBE and BTS's official channels. With 7 days remaining until the end of their military service, time seems to be both the finish line and the starting point for what comes next. The world now holds its breath, waiting as clues begin to surface and facts are revealed. Will this be the biggest international collaboration project ever undertaken by Korean artists? Will Jungkook and Jimin make a surprise appearance at global events like the Grammys or other major music festivals? Or will it be a large-scale humanitarian project that places BTS not just at the top of music charts, but also at the height of moral recognition? One thing is certain: the next 7 days will be the most decisive period in BTS's new history. If all these rumors prove true, then this surprise is not just about a comeback, but a definitive statement that BTS still is, and always will be, a dominant force in global culture. And if that surprise is finally announced, then its release date will be recorded in history as the rebirth of BTS, beginning with the two names now in the global spotlight. JUNGKOOK and JIMIN. 7 days before the end of JUNGKOOK and JIMIN's military service, the public atmosphere is filled with anticipation, hope, and uncontrollable speculation. But behind this euphoria, we need to pause for a moment and ask honestly, is all this real? Or are we part of a scenario meticulously crafted by media power and social algorithms? News of a big surprise from the two BTS members continues to spread massively across various platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and international fan forums. There are reaction videos of fans crying just over an unverified rumor and analytical content claiming to possess hidden proof from inside industry sources. But we must dare to ask, where is this information coming from? To what extent can its accuracy be held up to journalistic and professional scrutiny? In a world full of fast and unverified information, it's important to emphasize that spreading sensational news without official clarification can lead to false expectations. As consumers of information, especially loyal and emotional fans, we risk being swept into narratives not necessarily based on facts. Are we witnessing reality, or merely a digital illusion wrapped in a surprise narrative? Some media have stated that Jimin and Jungkook prepared a major project even before their military service began. But let's examine this logically. Is it truly possible for active military personnel to have the freedom and flexibility to coordinate a massive global project in secret? How could such a large campaign strategy escape without official traces from an agency like HYB, known for its strict and structured artist management? As of this moment, there's been no confirmation from any official party, neither from HYB labels nor personal statements from Jimin and Jungkook, affirming the existence of a surprise as widely reported. So it's reasonable to question, are we victims of an indirect marketing strategy? Or is this an effort to engineer fan expectations to maintain euphoria during BTS's absence from the global stage? We must acknowledge that much of today's media depends on engagement, clicks, and traffic. In this context, issues that touch fans' emotions are easily used to create buzz. Viral content can often be based on assumptions and personal interpretations with no factual basis. Therefore, we must restrain ourselves before diving into excitement. Are Jimin and Jungkook truly launching a secret project? Or is this merely a classic example of digital clickbait exploiting emotion to gain attention? Even some widely shared video clips labeled as leaked evidence are often old footage, taken out of context or manipulated through misleading narratives. Videos showing nighttime activity in HYB's recording studio, for example, are not necessarily linked to comeback preparations. Yet such content spreads like wildfire. Shouldn't this serve as a crucial alarm for us not to swallow raw information? When facing unverified news, our only shield is critical thinking. Don't let emotion blind logic. We can appreciate the idol's work without becoming naive and easily swayed by sensation. Because in the end, if all this turns out to be baseless rumors, the ones most harmed are the fans themselves. How great a disappointment must ARMY endure if this is just false news? Undeniably, hopes for BTS are very high, especially considering their massive influence in social, cultural, and global political arenas. However, we must also realize that behind their success lies a highly complex and at times manipulative media system. Are we aware enough that the information we consume today may not reflect reality, but rather the product of a deliberately constructed public opinion? In this context, we as a responsible media feel the need to state honestly, the information about a big surprise from Jimin and Jungkook to be released after their military service is still unverifiable as of now. All information compiled in this article comes from various social media platforms and community discussions, which unfortunately cannot be considered credible news sources.